Hi, my name is Ethan.
I'm Pam.
I'm Samson. I'm Xavier.
And I'm Julia.
I'm Kim.
I'm Gloria.
And
we are the 99.
99. 99. 99.
99.
99.
The 99.
99.
99.
99. 99. 99.
Hi, I'm Ta.
I'm Samson.
I'm Keon.
My name is Ekin.
I'm Gloria.
I'm Pang.
And
We are the 99.
And we're called the 99 because we share we share our stories and our experiences and our beliefs in hopes for other believers to relate to us and, to know that you're not alone on this journey. So let's get straight to it.
Yeah, so today's topic is going to be about commitment. And the reason why it's about commitment because, New Year's is coming up, right? And a lot of people make New Year resolution or commitment, and not so it's gonna be with not a lot of people or a lot of people they don't really stick to it. What do you have any of you guys have any New Year resolution, and have you guys still committed to it?
You know what? Let me start off. I don't think I really have a lot of New Year's resolution when the New Year comes through, because I think to myself, I feel like I'm not the type to really commit to these New Year's resolutions. So can I say I have stuck through like the ones that I have, made? Probably not. Most likely not. And that's the truth, But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I would say me too. I always make like New Year's or like goals and resolutions, and yeah, I never stick to it, especially the one for the gym, unfortunately. But yeah.
One of my New Year resolution was to spend more time studying, and even though my total time of studying have only increased by 5 minutes, I think it's still something.
I don't really like doing any New Year's resolutions because I know I can't stick to it. So if I was to make one up, then I feel like it would not be done. So I just I'm spontaneous, and I like to think that if I want to do something, then I will give it a try. And if I really do like it, then I'll stick with it.
Honestly, I think it's nice to have a New Year resolution, though. It gives you a goal to aim and go towards too. But I think it's just a lot of the time, I think when we have the goal set, we don't have the idea of, oh yeah, we're gonna hit it, and so then yes, we make plans for resolution, but then we never achieve it, and I for myself, I don't usually make one because then I do think about the future. I do think about what I want to do, but at the same time too, I feel like sometimes when I think about New Year resolution, I it's kind of like, you don't set your standard too high because then you're going to be disappointed. So, I feel like sometimes my standard is just too high when it should be this low, so at least I can hit it and then continue to go, but
Okay, well, my New Year resolution was to go to the gym more often, but I think I only went once, guys. Okay, I went twice actually. Once at Planet Fitness, and my second was at the rec center with one of our buddies, and then my second resolution was to get a new car, but that commitment has not been fulfilled. But Yeah.
Never too late. Never too late.
Wait, I want to say that I feel like, instead of having like a New Year's resolution, I feel like it's a lot better to just have a lifetime goal. Because, like what Ta says, it's always good to have a goal in life and for you to strive for. But I feel like having a New Year's resolution, like we don't really complete our New Year's goal, and I feel like that's why if we had a lifetime goal, then we would eventually like achieve it because it's we may not be able to do it in 1 year, but if we keep trying, we can eventually do it in the years to come.
You know what? Keon brings a good point. Like, I know there's people, they have like short-term goals and then long-term goals. Like, not like New Year resolution is a long-term goal, but then I think with their long-term goals, some people be like, oh, my long-term for like 1 month or like 3 months, and then your short-term goals like tomorrow or like 3 days, kind of as I see it. But any of you guys have any like goals or not New Year resolution, but like short-term goals or long-term goals for your life?
I think for me, I think is probably just for me to be more consistent, not just with the gym, but almost everything in my life. So, I think like probably like my mood, and not just like as in like how I react emotionally, but how I approach things, right? I feel like I always struggle with consistency. So like sometimes I'm like, I want to keep my room clean for a whole week straight, but like I'm not gonna lie, guys, like it gets like I clean it for 1 day and then it's already dirty the next. So I think a goal that I'd like to reach, for me it doesn't matter if it's long term or short term. I think any goal is good to have. Any goal, even if you like don't reach it within like within the exact time that you want it to be, I feel like as long as you reach it, it's still something to be proud of. So but yeah, I think my goal is just to be more consistent in my life with my health and also school as well. I mean, I'm doing okay in school, but
Yeah.
I just got to keep it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyone?
My goal, I don't know, my sounds kind of like funny, because I agree with like Gloria and everyone. Like I think like everyone should have a goal or like some kind of like I guess you could say like a finish line kind of thing. And I agree too with like, take it like if you can't stay consistent with like how our or we were talking about earlier, like New Year's resolution, like short-term goals. Like sometimes I think to myself, okay, my goal today is to get out of bed, just roll out of bed, get up, do something, just don't, lounge around. But sometimes, it's hard, right? But like long-term goals, I think it's just kind of maybe for me, like being more, this is sound weird, like grounded or like more like anchored, right? Just because I feel like I'm also the type of person who can't really set goals for myself because I can't like commit like all the way. And maybe it's also because like sometimes I might overthink like my goals or like my my plans or things that I want to achieve, because then I feel like then I get like a little like anxious about like, oh, like if I don't accomplish my goals, like, oh, then, I must, not be good enough, or I'm, like these kind of thoughts, like anxiety kind of like takes over. So like I'm kind of like with Glow, like take it day by day, I don't feel the need to like really like rush myself to like accomplish, like a long term goal, if that makes sense.
Sorry, I'm going to ask, what was the question again?
Like, you have any short-term goals or long-term goals?
One of my short-term goals for right now would probably just be eating correctly and keeping track of everything I am eating, and also probably the amount of like time of rest I'll be taking, because I feel like sometimes my rest days are like longer, and then sometimes it's like shorter, and so I have to really keep that in track. And a long term goal that that I have right now is probably just focusing on school, and just getting my emotions in check as well, like making sure that I am very, I guess you can say, real with like my friends and family about my emotions, and so I can be more in touch with not only myself but like with my friends and family as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Like I can't relate to any of you guys. I don't have any goals. I think how I see it is just I go through the day, and at the end of the day, I think to myself, what do I need to better myself at? You know, oh, am I not doing good enough in this area, or am I not for instance, you know, am I not spending enough time with God? Am I putting more effort and more time into God? Am I doing enough of my prayers when I come home? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do and all that stuff? You know, so I don't have any goals. How I view it is just as, oh, do I need to better myself so that, you know, it'll be more beneficial.
No, you know that's good. That's good. You can.
My day-to-day goal is to at least just get 10,000 steps a day. It helps me stay sane. And then for weekly, as long as I hit 3 times a week for the gym, I also stay sane.
You're not cheating, right?
Oh, I don't cheat.
Like
I only cheat on
the
weekends.
watches for the
Alright.
Yeah.
I think my goal is to finish school strong, especially this semester. Another goal is like, I guess, you know, just be more I guess more active at home. Yeah. But okay, so like I said, you know, our topic is about commitment. How do you guys, you know, commitment? How do you guys feel about commitment? Do you guys feel like you're committed to doing ministry? Since we're talking about commitment.
Yes, I definitely think that I'm committed. I'm currently in 2 departments right now in my church, and I said this like a while back in one of our episodes, is that I do prioritize ministry over school, and it's not to say that I'm like doing bad in school or I'm skipping school, right? It's just more of like when there's ministry, right, or when there's events, right, or things that I have to do with my church, you know, I'll be there. And I love being there. I love, you know, putting my time and life into ministry. I love devoting myself to God, right? Because I don't know, I feel like I was kind of like, I started when I was pretty young, and it's not like it's become a chore. It's not a chore, but it's just something that's become a part of my life, and it's something that I wouldn't want it to like go away. And I feel like I'm committed is because even though like sometimes some events are hard and it does take a toll on me, like my physical body or like mentally, right? The thing that always keeps me going is, of course, it's always God, but it's also when I see that these events have made a difference in people's lives, right? When they tell me that they had a great time, or you know that they learned something new about God, or you know when they open up to me about God, you know, I'm like, that's what keeps me going, and it makes me really happy to see that. So that's one thing that makes me committed to ministry, and like why I stay. So yeah.
Okay. Hey. You know,
I would say I am committed to like ministry. Similar to like Gloria, I started ministry at a younger age, and it has become something part of my life. Not to say that there haven't been times where, I did struggle, or I did feel like, like I wanted to just kind of like step away. But I feel like now in my life, or where I am in my life, I feel like I am pretty committed to like serving, or just like ministry in general, regardless of what like department, or what area of like where the church needs. I feel like wherever I'm called, I have a willing heart to do it.
Yeah, I would like to also agree with what Ping said. I feel like I am committed, and wherever and God has called me, I'm willing to go. And although I'm only in one department this year, next year, not too sure, but wherever He calls me, I feel like I'll put my heart into it, and I feel like it's kind of what Gloria said earlier. I feel like it's like a lifestyle, that ministry doesn't stop even if you aren't even like a leader, or like if you're not even a part of a department in general. The fact that like we are called to go seek out for go seek and make disciples around the world. It's our calling. It's what we were supposed to do. And in that sense, it's like we are all leaders, regardless if we are holding a position or not. So I feel like it is mainly like a lifestyle.
yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
For me, don't get me wrong, I do love the ministry. I do love seeing people and seeing their expression and their passion for God. To me, personally, I do love the ministry, but sometimes when I think to it, I feel hesitant, and I feel scared in a sense, to where because then as you do ministry, you're a role model, you're a leader, right? And you're supposed to be someone who people look up to, but sometimes I feel like, am I good enough for this position, or am I good enough to be in this position to where I should be and giving the word, or just talking to them about God, because then I always think back to the verse where with God, I believe it was God, right, when God talks about saying that, oh yeah, the sinners will get punished, but then the one who misleads the people are going to get punished even greater, and I always have that in the back of my mind, and I just feel like, sometimes I just feel like, God, just tell me what to do, just like just speak to me, and just show me the way, so that way it's not something to where where like I'm doing it myself, because then when we do things for God, it should be what God wants for us to do, and what He expects out of us to do, and not from our soul desire. And sometimes I just feel like, is this truly what God wants me to do, or is this me just my sole purpose of just doing it,
Yeah. Oh wait, you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where there's passion, there's always commitment. I'm often passionate about a lot of things. So with those things, I put a lot of time and effort into it, and ministry is definitely one of them. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Samson.
Oh, all
I
right.
just
Yeah.
want to say too, like, I think like when it comes to like commitment like this, you're talking about committing to like ministry. I also think in my head like, or like ministry is like, you're doing your work for, the Lord, right? And I think the biggest thing, if we're just talking about commitment in general too, it's like the biggest thing I think that a lot of youth, or a lot of like I guess people in general struggle with, is that it's a feeling, right? A commitment is not just like, oh, you go with your feeling and you just like just go with, like, if the wind blows then you go with the wind kind of thing. But I was like reading, or I saw this post, right, where they're talking about like, being like committed, right? It's more than the hype, right? I think a lot of times like people want to like do ministries because their friends are in it, or the people that they hang out with, like they're in it, like, and I feel like that is a good thing. But then if you just follow like that feeling of like, oh, I'm gonna have fun because I'm with like one of my best friends, we're gonna serve together, in my head I also, that was me at one point, right, where I just kind of went with the feeling because I was like, oh yeah, I have like, Gloria with me, like, we're gonna have the best time, like we're gonna serve together. And then once that feeling like fades, like what's left, right? And I think that's the thing, I think for me, that I kind of, in the beginning struggle with too, is being committed to ministry is just, it's just a fleeting feeling basically. And I feel like with commitment, it has to be like almost like a habit that you have to like kind of like continuously do in order for you to like grasp onto.
Well, I know we talked about this a lot. As a Christian, we're supposed to have an intimate relationship with God. And to be committed, it's like a relationship, with with your spouse. If you love your spouse, you will want to do anything for them. Like for me personally, I would want to do whatever it is to make my wife happy, right? But when it comes to God now, it's in a sense, God doesn't talk to us like how he does in the Old Testament, and so
Those burning bushes.
yeah. So that in a sense it makes it hard, right? Because then when you're in a relationship and if you're going with feeling, how Ping was talking about earlier, if you're going by feelings, what happens when that love fades? Eventually, that relationship is they're just gonna eventually break up, or if not, then they have to work through it or go through counseling, to just find that spark again, right? But with God, I know sometimes we do feel burnt out, and we may feel like we don't feel God, but God works. God works when we're at our weakest, and we should continue to strive. We should continue to push ourselves, because it just shows that God is truly still there, and eventually, God will reveal Himself to us, and it's just like how in a relationship, when you go through hard situation, you guys don't give up on each other. You guys continue to push through together. In the end, your guys' relationship gets stronger, and it should be the same thing with God, God wants that intimate relationship with us, and we should strive for it.
Yeah, I agree. Like if people just be like go into leadership or ministry just because they feel like left out, and because they see like all their friends, and then they only see the fun part. Guys, when you only see the fun part and you join and you think it's all gonna be like that, it's totally wrong. It's the opposite, right? Yes, there are some fun moments, but most rest of the time it's all about work. Or you have to plan everything out and make sure everything flows smoothly. So it's not all gonna be about fun. If we're just gonna be joining because of the fun, like my sister said, it's at the end you're gonna burn out. You're like, this is not how you're gonna be like, oh, this is not how I thought it was gonna be being a leader. And then you're gonna be like quit in the mid. You might not even wait till the year end. You might just quit right then, right there, right? And that's gonna be bad because it's gonna happen. It's be bad because now the team has to like take over your responsibility along with their responsibility too, and they're gonna burn out too. So it's a cause and effect, situation. But like, so like, how do we, overcome these burnouts? Then
Wait, so your question is
Like,
like,
how
how
do
do
we-
we commit or like?
because Tal was saying, when there are times when we burn out, but like, how do we recharge ourselves? Re-
Rejuvenate?
yeah, there you go. Oh, that's why I said recharge.
Oh, okay. I feel like that is why we work as a team, and that's why we aren't alone when we are called to ministry. Because if we were alone and we were to take on the task of doing it by ourselves, we wouldn't be able to, do everything by ourselves. And that is why we have a whole team, and that team is supposed to, we, of course, we have like our own like main role to do, but like we are all a team, and not only that, but there's no I in team, so we all help each other and pick up where I guess you can say where another person may I wouldn't say slack, because I feel like that's like the wrong term to say.
Yeah.
But like when someone is I guess you could say burnout, like, and convey it to your team members, your other leaders, and or to your friends and family too, because with that you can ask for prayers, and with prayers gives us a sense of comfort and relief. And in that sense, going to your team members and having them back you up is another sense of relief, because that even if you may feel kind of burned out, you know that they have your back.
Yeah.
And that as long as one of us is sorry, I am blinking out, but yeah,
To catch, right? To catch them.
and yeah, as long as one of us is there to catch us, most of the time it's like not even one, it's like all of us, because we are a team. Like for example, there's 6 of us, and if one of us falls or one of us is kind of like burnt out, then the other one is there to help pick him or her back up. And yeah, that's basically it.
I'll just say, oh.
Yeah, I would agree with Keon. Definitely rely on your teammates. I think communication helps a lot. And yeah, it's like what Keon said. You're not alone, and you do have your team members to rely on. But I also do want to say is that in order to avoid like burnout, I would say is to remember your reason why, right? What is the whole point of you doing this? Why are you here in the first place, right? I know that some people like I know for me sometimes I don't think I've ever like burnt out like that. Like, of course, yes, I felt tired, and I would like tired to the point where it was close to burnout, but it wasn't really burnout. And then like I told myself that this is for God. And I know that some people might say like, if you're saying that it's for God, then you have no reason to feel burnt out. But even in the Bible, Elijah was tired. Elijah felt burnt out, right? And God gave him rest. God was like, it's okay, right? And so for me, I want to highlight the importance of why I say my reason is God, right? My reason is God because I know that he will not fail me. My reason is God because I know that he will not forsake me, right? Even if like I'm tired, right? And like maybe I'm not in the right mindset right now, I know that God will lead me back to the right path. And like I know like it's it's kind of hard to say because not everyone has the same experiences as me. I'm just saying it's what worked best for me is because I know that God will, like I said earlier, God will lead me right back to the path where I needed to be, right, where I needed to go. And even if I don't feel qualified enough, right, it's not me who makes myself qualified, but it's God who makes me qualified, right? God does not call the qualified, right? Like, look at Moses. You know, he couldn't like speak like as, yeah, he stuttered. There you go. And there's so many other people that he called that weren't qualified, right? But through God, they were all able to spread God's word. They were all able to do God's miracles. They were able to bring people to God, right? So, life with ministry is never going to be easy, and you will definitely be attacked by the enemy, right? And there are many ways to keep yourself not burning out, but if you want to stay committed, like, I know this might sound like kind of like, oh, like, it's so simple. It sounds simple, right? But it's not. But I would just say is that you just have to keep your eyes on God. You have to focus on God. And you might think like, how, right? But if you remove all the distractions and distractions in your life, and you just, you know, even if I go through bad days, right, I just try to look for the best. I try to look for the good things in my life, because then if I focus only on the bad, then, you know, of course I'm going to be burnt out, right? But obviously if I focus on God and the things that he has blessed me with, then, you know, I don't feel burnt out. I feel like I can keep going, you know. I feel like this is what really keeps me committed as well. So yeah, like, you know, stay grounded in your faith, and just look towards God. You just keep looking at God, because like I said, God is going to be the one who's going to lead me in my path. But yeah, sorry if I like rambled, but
That was good. Oh, wait.
I was gonna say, for me, like, staying committed, I think it's having someone to keep me accountable, right? Someone to, like, even when I feel like, if we're talking about like burnout, like, I feel like as long as I have someone who is able to be like, hey, you know, you're slacking off, or hey, you know, like, remember why you're doing this, you know, I think it will like help me realign myself, or it's like a wake up call. And also I agree with like Gloria's, like, kind of like removing like the distractions from myself, right? Where how I was saying earlier, like, you know, if you know that it's just you're in the moment of like feelings, like you're only there for the feelings, then like take a step back and, you know, really evaluate why you're committed to what you're doing, basically, you know, because I feel like this applies not just to ministry but just overall everything in general. It's like, you know, just really just thinking and understanding, you know, yourself, and understanding what's the purpose, you know, of you doing what you're doing, or what's the purpose of you setting those goals, what's the purpose of you, you know, trying to achieve those goals.
Yeah. You know, everything you guys said, you know, was great. You know, about commitment, about how to not deal with burnout. And like Keon was right, said something I like we're all a team. And, you know, when you have people around you to help you out, you know, it really does help. And but the one who really can help us throughout these burnout is also, you know, Jesus and God too, you know. And it was a, you know, it was a good discussion about commitment with us. You know, I hope our viewers enjoyed the discussion. And if you guys like this video, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Instagram, and check out our Facebook. And thank you. See you guys next time.